Hi everyone, Yasas que kalos irtata to another episode of Dimitra's Dishes. Today we're going to be making a delicious Mediterranean meal in the air fryer. We're going to make Briam. It's like roasted vegetables, but in the air fryer. They're going to be so delicious. They're perfect side and they come together in under 30 minutes. And then I'm going to marinate steak and cut it into strips, sort of shawarma style, but with a Souvlaki marinade. It's going to be delicious. It's going to come together in under an hour. Let's get started. So you're going to need 2 pounds of beef loin flap steak. This is what I have here, but you can use ribeye or your favorite cut of steak. And this is 3 pounds. It's a little bit bigger, but I always make extra. And you're just gonna cut it into strips. And you can season it with balsamic vinegar or fresh lemon juice. I'm using balsamic vinegar, between 1/4 to 1/2 cup, depending on how much flavor you want. This is an extra pound of beef in here, so I'm gonna go with 1/2 cup. That looks about right. Just a little bit of olive oil, 3 to 4 tablespoons. Some salt, a teaspoon for 2 pounds or a teaspoon and 1/4. I'm gonna do a teaspoon and 1/2 since we have a whole extra pound of meat in here. Freshly cracked black pepper. And 1/2 teaspoon of ground cumin. I like to keep this marinade really simple, just like this, but if you want to, you could add some fresh garlic or garlic powder, or you can use my beef shawarma recipe and just marinate the meat using that. It'll be delicious. And that's it. You can prepare this right away, or you can let it sit and marinate for an hour or overnight. So now it's time to air fry the steak, and I needed a new air fryer. I was in the market for one and I was looking for a really good one, and this Kasori one is the one that I went with because of all of the great reviews. It's also, I love the sleek design. It's so easy to use and it works perfectly, cleans easily. I love it. The basket is a tiny bit smaller than my older air fryer, but my older air fryer took up way too much space and almost looked like an airship. I love this one. I still have the other one. I need it too because we're a bigger family and I use it so much. Once you start using it, you are going to absolutely love it because it cuts cooking time almost in half. It's so good. And it makes everything better than the oven actually does. And it doesn't heat up your house. So you're going to want to set the air fryer to 400 degrees Fahrenheit and let it warm up for 5 minutes so it can preheat. And then we're going to cook the steak in a few batches. If you were to put all of the steak in there, sure, it'll fit in the basket, but it won't get cooked evenly. It's actually going to get overcooked. It's going to be steamy and soggy, and that is not what you want. So cook it in about 3 batches. 4 minutes on one side, flip it over, and 2 minutes on the other side at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. It's going to be cooked medium, almost medium well. If you want to cook it less, you could do 4 minutes on one side and 1 on the other, or 2 and 2. Just every air fryer is different, so keep an eye on it and cook it to your liking. Then go ahead and transfer the cooked steak to a platter, cover it with foil, and now we're going to make the veggies. So for the veggies, we're using potatoes. You can use, instead of potatoes, you could use eggplant or even mushrooms, but I'm using potatoes. And then I'm using a bell pepper, zucchini, and an onion. Such a simple recipe. You can definitely cook the potatoes in the air fryer, but I don't like to start them off in the air fryer because of the high heat and the quick cooking. It dries them out. So I like to start off the potatoes in the Instant Pot. I have a pound of baby potatoes. I didn't peel them or anything. I went ahead and I put them in my Instant Pot with about 1.5 cups of water and a teaspoon of salt. And then I set the Instant Pot to high, to pressure cook on high, for 2 minutes, and then I let it rest for 5 minutes, and I release the pressure. Then go ahead and take the potatoes out. They're going to be perfectly cooked, and all they're going to do is they're going to crisp up in the air fryer. That's going to help them taste really nice and creamy on the inside and crispy on the outside, like the perfect potato. So we're going to go ahead and chop up all of our veggies now. This is a pretty unusually large onion, but I love onion in roasted veggies because it adds sweetness. So I'm going to use the whole thing. And I'm just going to cut the onion into cubes. Then I have a bell pepper. You can use any color bell pepper that you have on hand or that you like. Just carefully get rid of all of the seeds. And I have 2 zucchini here. I'm just gonna cube those as well. And the potatoes that I've already cooked in the Instant Pot, these are fully cooked. I'm just gonna cut these in half. So for the seasoning, you need 2 to 3 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar, and you could whisk this all together in a little pitcher and then pour it on top, but I'm just gonna freehand it like this. 2 to 3 tablespoons or more of olive oil, salt to taste, some crushed red pepper flakes for heat. If you don't like red pepper, you can put black pepper, or you can do both, like I'm gonna do. Black pepper, and a little bit of garlic powder, or a lot. This is granulated garlic powder. I'll put about a tablespoon, maybe a little bit more. And then go ahead and toss everything all together so it's evenly seasoned. And that's it. In the air fryer it goes. So you're gonna set the air fryer to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, put all of the veggies in the basket and let them cook for about 10 or 12 minutes. Then go ahead and toss everything together so that way they cook evenly, and let them cook again at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about 5 minutes more. Then I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna crumble some feta on top of that and let it cook at 400 for another 2 or 3 minutes, and it should be ready. And just like that, the meal is ready. I did forget to add tomatoes to the veggie mixture when I put it in the big bowl, but halfway through cooking I remembered and I put them in the air fryer and they cooked perfectly. So do add some grape. I use grape tomatoes, but you can use any tomatoes that you have on hand. This smells amazing. The veggies took under 30 minutes. The meat as well, because we did it in a few batches, and you can definitely make more. I like to serve this with some tzatziki. You can warm up some cauliflower rice, make some Mediterranean rice pilaf, or you can wrap this up in tortillas or pitas and make sandwiches out of it. It is so delicious. Let's do the taste test. The meat is perfectly cooked and soft and so flavorful. That balsamic vinegar tenderizes the meat and just infuses it with so much tanginess and flavor. You're gonna love it. Now let's get the veggies. And I wanna test the potato with a little bit of the feta cheese and a zucchini. I love air fried zucchini. Such a great way to serve veggies. Everyone is going to love this. The printable recipe for this is on the website, dimitrasdishes.com. While you're there, go ahead and visit our shop. We have beautiful aprons like the one that I'm wearing, our olive oil that comes from my family's olive trees, and many, many more things. If you want more air fryer recipes, comment down below and I'll bring them to you. Yes, sis.